Welcome back. This is 2.4, Ratios, Rates, and Proportions. So we're going to write ratios as fractions, rates as fractions, write unit rates, solve proportions, and then solve problems using proportions. So ratios, remember, it just means fraction, or another word for fraction or division. And it's a comparison between two quantities, and it's done by division. So ratios, we can see it as A to B, A over B, or A dot dot B. That is the same as like saying A to B. Writing ratios as fractions. So you write the ratio in fraction notation. The first number of the ratio is the numerator, and then the second number is the denominator. And then simplify the fraction if possible. All right, so the bar graph shows the number of teeth in 6 selected animals in a mouse to the number of teeth in a lion. So number of teeth is on this side. So mouse is 15 over lion is 30. And then reducing the fraction, they can both be reduced by 15. So it'd be 1 over 2. All right, the next says write the ratio of the number of teeth in an alligator to the number of teeth in a great white shark. So alligator is 80. And then great white shark is 50. All right, they both can be reduced by 10, so it'd be 8 over 5. So those would be your ratios. A rate is a ratio that compares two quantities that have different units. Oh, this decided to go back. Went all the way back to the beginning. So for example, suppose that a cyclist can bike 6 miles in 20 minutes. So we can write that as 6 miles over 20 minutes, which is 3 miles over 10 minutes, or 3 miles per minute, or per 10 minutes. All right, writing and simplifying. So it says write each rate as a fraction in simplest form. 55 hits for 180 times at bat. So 55 over 180. And then they reduce by 5. So 11 over 36. So it'd be 11 hits for every 36 times at bat. All right, 260 miles on 8 gallons of gasoline. So 260 over 8, which reduces by 4. So 65 over 2. So 65 miles for every 2 gallons of gas. All right, unit rates. So write the rate in fraction notation with units included. Divide the numerator and the denominator. And then the word per is used to describe the division in the unit rate. All right, so it says write each of the following as a unit rate. So we have 144 divided by 3. So they're each divisible by 3, so it'd be 48 over 1. So that is 48 miles per hour, or 1 hour. All right, 60 cents for 4 ounces of juice. So that would be 60 over 4. So then we want to reduce it. So it reduces by 4. So it'd be 15 over 1, which is 15 cents per ounce. Proportions. So proportions is a statement that two ratios or rates are equal. So a group contains 60 women and 30 men. The ratio of women to men is 60 over 30. So remember, we reduce the fraction, so they each have 30 in common. So it would be 20 to 1. So the ratio of women to men is 20 to 1, or 20.1 or colon 1. All right. The next is cross products. So that's cross multiplying. So A to D and C to D are equal to each other, where B and D cannot equal 0. All right, so we just do cross multiply. So 7x equals 63 times 5. So then we get 7x equals 315. And then we divide by 7. So x equals 45. All right, the next one, we have 20x, or 20 times x, equals 30 times x minus 10. So 20x equals 30x minus 300. So that's just distributing those. All right, then we subtract 30x, because we want, remember, x is on one side, numbers on the other. So we get negative 10x equals negative 300. So then you divide by negative 10. So you get x equals 30. So the solution set is 30 in your braces. All right, solving applied problems. So we have our steps. So you read the problem, set up the proportion, drop the units, and cross multiply, and then solve for x. So it says the property tax on a house with an assessed value of $48,000 is $5,760. Determine the property tax on a house with an assessed value of $600,000, assuming the same tax rate. So we don't know the tax on that first house. So that's what we want to solve for. So then we're going to cross multiply. So x times 480,000 equals 5,760 times 600,000. So you have 480,000 x equals, and then if you multiply those together, it's 3,400,000. Oh no, 3,000,046. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can also multiply it in your calculator. So 5,760 times 600,000, and you get the same number. All right, so then we divide by 480,000. And we get 7,200. So that is the tax price on a $600,000 house. All right, sampling in nature. So capture-recapture method is used to determine the wildlife population when it is impossible to count each individual animal within a population. So you put the original number of tagged animals over the total number of animals in the population. Initially, that's always unknown. And then the number of recaptured tagged animals over the number of animals in the second sample. So that's usually the known ratio. All right, so let's look at an example. So wildlife biologists catch, tag, and release 135 deer back into a wildlife refuge. 2 weeks later, they observe a sample of 140 deer, 30 of which are tagged. Assuming the ratio of tagged deer in the sample holds for all deer in the refuge, approximately how many deer are in the refuge? So 135 was the original over the unknown equals 30 recaptured over the animals in the second sample. So we cross multiply, so 30 times x equals 135 times 140. So you get 30x equals 18,900. Then you divide by 30 and you get x equals 630. Would be the approximate number of deer in the refuge. All right, that is it for 2.4. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, work on your assignment.